I got myself a racing wheel. Here it is. This is my Thrustmaster TX Ferrari 458 Italia Edition. And I really got it, you know, for more fun, really. Just racing games, steering wheel. It's more fun. But everyone says, you know, get a force feedback wheel, you go faster. Especially than a gamepad. Wheel faster than gamepad, force feedback wheel even faster than a regular wheel. Right? So to test that out, even though, you know, main thing's fun, it's just to see if it does improve things. What I did was, earlier in the week, I got on F1 2021, my Xbox is chiming, to do a hot lap of Albert Park, my favourite circuit, in the McLaren. So I did a hot lap session. I think I did wind up doing like 10 laps to see how fast I could go. Eventually what I went up on was I think like a 1:24.1, not a very fast lap. I'm not good at hot lapping, I don't like hot lapping. And one of the reasons is, especially in F1 2021, the track limit restrictions are completely different to how they are normally. So a lot of the lines that, you know, I'm always taking in qualifying or even race or whatever, invalidate your lap, slightly run right on a curb in a way that would even be legal in Formula 1. Your lap gets invalidated, so I had to be very conservative, so that team's not very good. So I want to see, I'm not expecting to go faster than it straight out of the box, because I'll have to get used to the wheel. But I want to see how close I can get, and then do some successive laps, dial things in, and see if I can get to and beat it in one session. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. So what I'll do is I'll show you the lap I did in with the gamepad, and then from then we'll go over to the wheel and see how they compare, and then I'll come back with, you know, my thoughts.
Okay, so we're going to start off here with the ultimately fastest gamepad lap. This lap wasn't really the fastest I could possibly go because I was a little bit down in the first two sectors, gained a lot in the last one, but overall, therefore the fastest. Through that first section, a little bit cautious on the exit because, as I'll get into with the track limit problem in hot lap mode, running even slightly too wide there, even with the two wheels still inside the white line, will sometimes invalidate your lap. Same through here, again, overcautious on the exit because I'm trying not to get too far onto that curb because the game will invalidate the lap. Happens here as well, cut that inside, kiss the curb on the outside. You can see even the racing line from the game there wanted you to take more of that curb, but if you do, your lap gets invalidated in hot lap mode, so it's kind of pointless. And that's what I would normally do when I'm playing the game in other modes, but you can't in this one. So through here, this is where I started to gain a lot of time back because on a previous version I was very overcautious through there. Nearly cost me here being a bit more aggressive because I overcorrected in that DRS zone, but managed to keep control of the car, so we're gaining all the way through this final sector because I was just basically less cautious than I had been on my previous best. So yeah, straightforward through here, very simple. We're going to come down to the line, gaining, and there's your 24.1. It's actually close to 24.2, but you know, we'll call it 24.1 for now. So here we are with the wheel. This is once I was up to speed with it. You can see I've done about 14 laps. Some of those were invalidated. But this is where I was sort of able to get comfortable with it. Again, cautious on the way in. I actually ran wider there than I normally would. And I feel like that was more illegal than some of the things I did that were getting invalidated. But the game said that was fine, so we're going to take it. Through here, cautious lift. Because again, I didn't want to run wide on the exit there, which I was having a lot of trouble with in the wheel especially. Come down here, kiss the inside, kiss the curb on the left there. If you run even slightly wider than that, it will invalidate the lap, like I was saying. So that was actually pretty well spot on for the way the hot lap wanted to be, although it could have been faster. Through there, this bit's quite easy, obviously it's just flat. The game DVR completely broke there, so we've skipped towards the last two corners, but I'll show you a more complete wheel lap later on, but this is the one that I'm about to talk about.
In retrospect, I don't think that going straight into F1 2021 hot lapping is necessarily the most forgiving way to get used to the wheel. It took me a few laps to actually physically get my setup okay. My initial problems were the pedals mainly. The wheel was fine pretty much straight away, but then as I had to move things around to get the pedals somewhere I could use them, there was some struggle with getting the wheel also. So I moved to the pedals were okay, but the wheel wasn't. But I managed to get it okay for both. I did have to put a big heavy book on the table behind the wheel there, because this table's quite light and spindly, so it was getting rocked around a bit. But this big, heavy, hardcover copy of The Power Broker by Robert A. Caro solved that. I did initially use my my laptop, but it was a little bit too spread out. I think they're similar weights tall, but that's denser. Focused the weight down in the middle, held it down. So that's holding the table in place, so it's still not quite as rigid as it probably should be, but I'm able to control the wheel and stuff fine. But yeah, the issues initially with the pedals and all that's cleared up. Wasn't really expecting to go faster straight away, and I'm still really dialing in. I think probably learning the wheel on time trial mode, not the best, like I said, because the track limits thing is quite frustrating. So a lot of the times I'm taking lines that are legal and it's saying no, and other times I'm taking lines that are clearly illegal where I've made an error and it's fine. So it's really hard to predict what's going to happen with the track limits in time trial mode. It's no damn good. And it also means you invalidate if you use a flashback, so there's no point using flashbacks. But that makes sense for what time trials are, but for what I was doing, getting up to speed with the wheel, usually if I'm learning a track or even a car, even rather than just the equipment, do a flashback when I make an error so I can try and correct it immediately to figure out what I did wrong. But I can't do that, so I'm having to do the whole lap again, and that's not helping. But I was able to get within a second once I had confidence in what I was doing and stuff, and my session theoretical best is within half a second or so, I think, which is about probably where I was expecting it to wind up once I had everything physically set up, and now just need to get used to driving this way. I've been playing racing games, in F1 in particular, with a gamepad now for years. I used to use when I was a kid, I had a wheel, not a 4-speed F1, a standard bungee cord one, I think it was, the BMW Williams one, from back in those days. So I've used wheels for racing before, but I've been using a pad for so long that that's what I'm used to. So that's one of the reasons I was not expecting to go faster straight away. I can definitely feel where I can improve with the wheel versus the pad. At the moment, the main issue is more the pedals. I'm not quite confident on my feet at the moment. So there's definitely some time to be gained in figuring out how to do the pedals properly. And now that I've done some hot lapping, I'm going to go ahead and do a race, which is something I really like to do anyway, and see how that goes. But I like the wheel. It's fun to use, but time trials are not my forte and frustrating.
Alright, I know what you're all thinking. Did I ever get faster with the wheel? And the answer is yes, I did. So here is the lap that I did a little bit later on into another session. You can see about 9 laps into this one. Again, some of those were invalid, but this is a similar sort of time to how far into that gamepad session I was when I did the previous fastest lap. But here it is with the wheel. This lap will be faster. A little bit better through there. A little bit narrow on the inside, you can see, just nibbling away at the lines here. It's not up by a huge amount, but that is an improvement on Sector 1. Lost a little bit through there because, again, cautious, trying to avoid running wide. But overall, this lap is much more like it. And it's not going to be up by much, but it is up. So, the answer to the fundamental question is, can you go faster on the wheel? I think yes. You don't go straight away faster, like I showed. You have to get back, used to using the wheel. You have to get used to using the pedals. And I think, Super GT and other, YouTubers who do racing as a lot have said the same thing. You can go faster with the wheel, but don't expect to just, pull one out and go fast immediately. You have to learn your equipment. It's like learning a car. So this is just a quick video of me playing around with my new wheel, seeing if it goes any faster. And I hope you've enjoyed watching me get up to speed with the wheel, and I'll see you all soon for another video.
Okay, that last lap was a 1 minute 24.1.
It's a three-pronged attack. Subliminal, liminal, and superliminal.
Superliminal?
I'll show you. Hey, you!
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, alright.
I'm in.